Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. La'allakum tattakun ayyaman ma'dudat. Sadaqallahu al-azim. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik wa arham ala abdika wa rasulik Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallim taslima. One of the major aspects of this month of Ramadan is that a person should give more in charity. And there's one aspect of a person, one particular aspect of their nafs, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in the Quran, called shuh. Shuh is that aspect of the nafs that doesn't like, it's like the last attempt at the nafs. It's the recalcitrance or reluctance of the nafs. So if a person wants to give charity, thinking it's Ramadan, he or she tries to find an opportunity to give, and at the last minute they have a hesitation, they have a regret, they second guess themselves. And that's called the shuh of the nafs. And so in this month, alhamdulillah, because of the barakah of fasting, because we're doing mujahada, mukhalafa, going against the wishes of our nafs, then alhamdulillah, in this month a person doesn't, normally a fasting believer doesn't have this problem of shuh. In fact, they're more generous, they're more giving, they're more desirous to give, they're seeking opportunities to give. And this is the thing I wanted to mention tonight, that on the one hand, no doubt we can, there may be many people or places or institutes that a person may have been giving from the past, but in Ramadan it's nice that every year in Ramadan you should try to seek one new opportunity, maybe one new person or one new affected community or one new country or one new poor person or one new educational institute you want to endow, something new. There should be some new element of our charity. And the reason I say this is that for a lot of us, we become routinized in everything we do in deen, and we become routinized in our charity. So those who may have, or for people who live in countries like Pakistan and South Africa, they have household help, and they may every year in Ramadan take out some extra money and give it to the same people. Now, without depriving them, without reducing anything that you're already doing, alhamdulillah, only through the grace and karam and fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this year try to find a new opportunity, try to reach touch a new heart, try to help a new victim, right? Whether there may be a refugee, they may be a widow, they may be an orphan, they may have suffered from some oppression and injustice or war in their life. So I think this is very important, to try to seek new venues of charity in this month of Ramadan. And again, this is a bit more specific to the men, but one of the things, and I'd mentioned this to you a couple of nights ago, that one of the beautiful things that happens in Ramadan is because so many people come to the masjid, especially in Muslim countries, that the men, and when they pray Salatul Tarawih, it's a very long time. For many men, they probably never spend that much time in the masjid other than Salatul Tarawih in Ramadan. They're spending 2.5, 3 hours in the masjid. And if they're doing it in a country where there are also poor people coming to the masjid, you have this wonderful experience of standing in worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right next to a person, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, next to a person in a hot summer climate, and a person, he's a laborer, he may be from a different very different socioeconomic background than you, but you're united in your worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're united in your belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that creates the greatest empathy. So many times people talk about humanism and humanity and caring for your fellow human being, but they're not completing the sentence. The greatest empathy is based on two things: your empathy for your fellow humanity because you share the same Rabb, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and secondly, your empathy for humanity because you share the same Iman in that Rabb. You share a bond of belief in that Rabb, and that may not be there with every member of humanity. So there are two aspects to it, and this happens in Ramadan. So also in many masajid, although that's not required, but people come together and they gather for iftar. And again, you have people from all types of walks of life sitting with one another, eating together, whereas normally they did not mingle, they did not eat with one another. So there must be some ways, and I can't think of that right now, but some acceptable yet creative ways that women could somehow replicate this or get access to this to some extent. But the point is to feel some empathy with the poor, to intermingle with the poor. So for example, rather than just writing a check and giving it to a charity, maybe actually, a group of people getting together and getting basic rations and supplies and actually going to a poor area and giving it to the poor mothers with your own hands, because then you'll see them and you'll also be happy to see the smile on their face, and you will feel happy that for the sake of Allah Ta'ala, for Allah Ta'ala's pleasure, you're bringing some joy and happiness into the heart of someone. So this is our short Ramadan Nasiha and short Ramadan reminder for tonight.